was in 6th grade, I had a really awesome social studies teacher. He got me really interested in ancient history for one reason. He was interesting. He got up and moved around the classroom and, most importantly, asked questions of us. There was discussion and laughter and projects and movies that were actually relevant to what we were studying. But sadly, 6th grade year had to end. 7th grade year, the teachers were terrible. My math teacher just didn't care. When anyone asked a question, it went a little bit like this. So, could you explain why x equals 2? I just said that, didn't I? You should have been listening. But in reality, she had just quickly gone through the problem and not explained any of it. We had no idea what was going on, and we were supposed to be the smart kids. Before I was a student at the middle school, while I was a student there, and even after, there was always uproar about this particular teacher. She couldn't be fired, though. Why? Tenure. A thing that she in no way deserved. Since then, I've been lucky enough to get into a school that really cares. The kids care because education is a thing that's important to them, and the teachers care because the kids care and work hard. So for the past year and a half, I've been bottled up in this little learning utopia. But last week, we finished reading this book, The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. To me, there are two themes to this book. Number 1, Indian reservations suck. And number 2, the American school system sucks. To tie in with this second point, we watched a documentary in class called Waiting for Superman, which followed 5 kids in their attempts to get a better education. Well, everyone else in my class seemed to think that yes, what had happened to these kids was sad. They didn't want to seem to take any further action. I did. It may be because of experiences I've had with teachers in the past. A lot of kids in my school have been in private school all their lives. Or maybe because I've known some truly great people that have been screwed over by the education system. But in any case, I did some more research. I watched video after video on the education system of our country, and they all said the same thing. Something about it isn't right, and that something needs to change. In almost every video that I watched, the analogy of an assembly line was used, an analogy that I think fits perfectly with what is going on. Children are pushed through the system a year at a time and imprinted with predetermined facts. There's almost no emphasis anymore on how these facts will help you in the real world. And the facts that they give you wouldn't help, even if you were given the knowledge of how to use them. Another thing that these videos mentioned was technology. We live in a world in which technology is all around us. It's no wonder we get distracted, and the teachers are punishing people for this. If we wanted facts, we could more easily Google them than sit in a classroom. The educators need to learn how to use this technology to their advantage, to teach kids how to learn using the huge amount of resources that are available to them via the internet. And then there's tracking, the separation of academics and non-academics, the smart people and the non-smart people. Not only is this system based on a handful of test scores, but it leaves people who are truly smart believing that they're truly not smart. And then the people who are put on the non-academic track are given even less care in their education, and they stop caring about it themselves. And even the people who are put on the academic track don't get the type of education that they need. People no longer believe that you need a college degree to get a job, which is true. It'll help you, but it's no big deal anymore. But what can we do about it? Nothing that I can think of. Others have suggested that we switch the focus to learning how to find and use information rather than the information itself. That we should get rid of the tracking system, that collaboration should be encouraged, that the bad teachers should be fired. But things stand in the way of this. The old mindset, the current definition of cheating, teachers' unions. While all of these are great ideas, they all seem unreachable. At least for now. Thanks a ton for listening to what I had to say. I know that this was kind of long. If you want to learn more about our current education system, I'm going to put some links in the doobly-doo to some of my favorite videos that I watched while I was doing background research. Also, even though I just pointed out that it's practically impossible to reform our education system, I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas. While I hate to tell people to comment on my videos, I feel like this time it has meaning. Maybe you guys are smarter than me. Maybe you can come up with a way to reform our education system for the better. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. So for the past year, I've been bottled up in this little learning utopia. Whoo hoo hoo! That is a tongue twister. I don't know what that was.